welcome to Battleground Florida. One of the most closely watched races this election is that for Hillsborough County State Attorney. And while typically these races receive little attention, this one has been thrown into a bigger spotlight. It pits former State Attorney Andrew Warren, who was removed from his role 2 years ago by Governor DeSantis, against the person picked to replace him, Susie Lopez. Both Lopez and Warren are here live in studio this morning, and we will speak with State Attorney Susie Lopez coming up in our show. But we start with Andrew Warren looking to win this race for a third time. And of course, Andrew, thank you for being here. Now, back in 2022, Governor Ron DeSantis said, quote, "State attorneys have a duty to prosecute crimes as defined in Florida law, not to pick and choose which laws to enforce based on his personal agenda." Now, Andrew, if Amendment 4 fails, will you prosecute those accused of breaking Florida's abortion laws?
Yeah, so what the governor did was he broke the law. And the court's ruling on this was crystal clear. The allegations he made against me were false. I had done my job extremely well, and he broke state and federal law. So what the court found is that I did what I would always do, what I've always done as a prosecutor, which is to look at the facts and circumstances of every case and make a decision applying the law. The governor's had to distort the truth because he got caught breaking state and federal law. But I tell you, this race is about more than just the governor's unlawful suspension. This is about the public safety of Hillsborough County. Because during my time in office, crime went down year after year after year.
Now, we're going to get into that, though, but if you are elected again, will you follow the current abortion law if Amendment 4 fails?
Yeah, I'll follow every single law just like I have. With that being said, we're going to...
So did you follow the law when you were state attorney?
Yeah, of course. That's what the court found. I mean, a case never came before us. What the governor was saying was that he criticized me for speaking out, for criticizing the law, for saying that prosecutors don't actually make our public more safe by prosecuting women and doctors. I was suspended for speaking up on abortion rights. Ms. Lopez was appointed specifically to prosecute women and doctors for their private health care decisions.
And so, once again, will you sign a pledge saying that you will not follow abortion laws in Florida, or will you say, hey, if I'm elected, I'm going to follow or prosecute those cases?
Yeah, we will look at every single case the same way we always do. Murder, rape, robbery, abortion, we always look at the facts and circumstances of each case. That's what I always did as a federal prosecutor. It's what I've always done as state attorney.
And then I want to show you this. On X, you posted something like this. Let's go ahead and show you this. Focused on prosecuting crimes that threaten public safety, fighting for victims, and crime prevention, and crime went down 32%. In her 2 years, Lying Lopez has focused on appeasing DeSantis, and crime has gone way up. Murders, rapes, robberies, up, up, up. Facts. Now, of course, there's a lot to unpack here, but first, where are you getting the 32% from?
So that's from statewide data. That's from the governor's own data, the Uniform Crime Reports, which is the broadest index of crime. Hillsborough County's crime rate went down 32% over those 5 years in office, making Hillsborough the safest large county in Florida. Now, using the same statewide data, looking at the same source of the data from FDLE, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, we've seen murders go up over the last 2 years in Hillsborough County. Rapes go up, robberies go up.
And who's to blame for that?
Well, there are a combination of factors, but the one thing that has changed was that it went from me being state attorney to Ms. Lopez being state attorney, and immediately we saw increases in violent crime.
So you're blaming Susie?
Well, I said she's part of the problem. Crime is not always the sole responsibility of the prosecutor when it goes up and down, but it certainly plays a part in it. We prioritize the crimes that threaten public safety, the murders, the rapes, the robberies, the crimes that, as a father of 2 girls, keep me awake at night. Ms. Lopez has said her priority is every crime. Everything is a priority. We all know when you say everything's a priority, it means you have no priorities, and we've seen that in the fact that violent crime has spiked.
And then you went on a Trump-like speech there when you called her, quote, Lying Lopez. Why Lying Lopez?
Well, she's been caught red-handed, lying about my record, deceiving voters. I mean, telling them things that are just absolutely false. They've poured like millions of dollars into these false ads. Why? because she's trying to distract from the fact that crime has gone up under her watch, because she doesn't have solutions to offer to the public. I mean, she wouldn't even have a debate with us this morning. She declined to debate from this station and other TV stations. Why? Because she doesn't want to have to defend her record. She doesn't want to be confronted with the lies that she's told voters. But all those lies can't change the simple fact. Crime went down under my watch, and in this community, people felt safe taking their kids to school, going to the park, going to the mall. And under her watch, we've seen shootings in the Citrus Park Mall, Tampa Palms, Ybor shootings. Crime has gone up the last 2 years. It is an undisputable fact.
And now, when Republican commentators and lawmakers claim liberal state attorneys are being funded by George Soros, you believe they are saying something else. What does that mean to you?
Well, first of all, I've never received a dime from George Soros to my campaign or political committee. This is just a false accusation to try to paint me with a broad brush, to try to say that this is San Francisco or Portland. Look, we lived here for 6 years during my time in office. Ask the voters, do they feel safe going out in this community? The answer is absolutely yes. But the reason why they're saying those lies, and there's some anti-Semitism behind those allegations as well, the reason why my opponent and her cronies repeat these lies is because they have nothing actual to say to criticize my record, which was crime going down, and they're saying it to distract from the fact that crime has gone up on her watch. Again, these are indisputable facts.
Now, when people watch our newscast, they see many Suzy Lopez commercials. Where are your commercials? Are Democrats behind you?
Yeah, I mean, we've been putting out commercials on TV, on cable, but the reality is that she has raised a lot of money through the Republican Party, and DeSantis and his cronies have spent like $2 million, an unprecedented amount in a state attorney's race. And how are they using that? Not to promote her ideas of how to reduce violent crime. They're using it to attack me with these false and misleading ads. Again, she was caught red-handed lying in her ads. Have they taken them down? No, they just continue running ads that deceive voters and distract from the truth.
Who's they?
Ms. Lopez and the governor.
And you said, have they taken them down? So you're saying, you're asking if Lopez or the governor, if they've taken those ads down, or are you blaming news stations?
No, I'm saying Ms. Lopez and the governor. Ms. Lopez was caught, called out for her ad being disingenuous, misleading, just saying things that were absolutely not true. But they continue to promote those ads because it's the only thing she has. She has to lie about my record rather than talking about the simple facts. I made this community safer. I moved our criminal justice system forward. Crime has gone up under her watch, and she's moved the system backwards. When I'm back in office, we'll reverse that trend.
And really quickly now, you're still actively fighting your suspension in court. What's the next step?
Well, the courts have ruled in my favor on the merits, but I'm yet to be reinstated. The governor has been dragging his heels on this case since January when the court ruled in my favor on it. At this point, it seems unlikely that the court's going to do anything before the election. That's why I've been fighting for the rights of everyone in Hillsborough County, as well as I fight for the public safety of every family in our community.
Andrew Warren, thank you so much for being here. And Warren's opponent, State Attorney Suzy Lopez, joins us live on Battleground Florida next.